Well, hello, 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 and welcome. It's Thursday. It's a journal with me. And when you're seeing this, it's already like the fourth week of March. Is that crazy? Part 3. I didn't think we would work on it this much, but it's been a fun project, and I love that I can sort of spread it out and give you a taste of it each week. So that has been a lovely ordeal. So as you can see, some little things have been added since last week, and we will continue on with that. We will finish the last pocket today, and then we'll sort of do a speed up of all the little decors. We're going to add lace. We're going to add, which I forgot to do that, which, okay, we'll do lace down here. I was chatting with a friend, and I started decorating and forgot what I was doing. But I added a pearl to the handle of the little umbrella. I was able to add in the little butterflies we were talking about that are laminated. One's glued down, one's flapping, with a cute little pearl on it. And I'll talk about the belly band over here and stuff like that. So, I don't even know what to say, but hello, and this is Jolene with a Joel Design. Oh my gosh, I forget that as you guys are seeing this, you may be following me and you know exactly what I'm doing and who I am, and you may have found me for the first time. So I always forget to introduce myself. I get so excited when I'm on a roll. But hello again, this is Jolene with a Joel Design, and we are hopefully finishing up our 2-page spread pocket edition. And this will be part 3, so of course at the end of the video there will be, I always refer back to the one prior so you can see what's going on if you really want to know. But we have created a flip up with a tuck and a writing space that, you know, has another tag in it, so we have more space. This has a nice clear cover to the window. We created this lovely stacked pocket that we collaged on the front to help sort of feel the whole fill and sort of expand on the stuffed elements that have all these large ephemera pieces. Aren't they great? They're all part of this kit. We have this, you know, Touch of Romance kit, which is an ode to Jane Austen and all of her characters. It was more about her characters and her books than it was her per se. She is a writer, and I love and adore her, but we wanted to have some fun, sort of tell a story with the kit. So it is a mega kit. It has a lot to it, so there's plenty of things to play with, including all these lovely pockets. Tag pockets, windowed pockets, stuffed pockets, large tag pockets. We worked on this last week where I have a piece of paper that I folded in the big pocket. And what I did was, I didn't finish with you guys, is I took the long garland belly band that I created, fussy cut it out, did a little distressing, and we put it in as a horizontal belly band to help keep some of the bigger pieces in here from falling out. So I put the long yellow tag in here. I put the big double-sided journal tag in here that I've already created. It's nice and thick, really stout. So it's a great way to show, like, if I want to talk about our dinner menu, what I had for dinner on my birthday night for next week. This is on Thursday, the 24th. So this Saturday, I get to go to Chart House, which is one of our favorite places in Monterey, California, by the way. And I maybe will write down what I had for dinner that night, right? My special treats, what I wanted to do. I may talk about, this may be my, Saturday night birthday section, right? I'm going to talk about all the little things we're taking the girls, which we haven't been able to take them. We were supposed to do it 2 years ago, and that didn't happen. So, anyway, so yeah, this is all set, ready to go. I have a card in the front. I have a card in the back, another tag. If something cute gets collected from the day, maybe I'm going to tuck that up under here. And then I have this whole, I get to totally memory keep the whole week from the 26th through the 2nd of April, all the fun things that I get to do for my birthday, whether it's with my parents, with my best friend, my husband, and my kids. Like, I get to have a really good moment here. But I have plenty of spaces to really talk about anything and everything I want. We did the side pocket, oh my gosh, and put stuff inside it, which still need to be decorated. And then I found a larger tag that has some florals on it that I thought blended well enough that we're going to glue down and put over here. So, again, I can put a small moment that I feel that I want to share. All right. Let's see. What do we want to do? So, as you can see, I started some of this. I'm just going to do a quick touch up here so I don't forget. Because later I'm going to get going and I'm going to totally forget to distress it or ink it or anything. I don't know if it needs it, but I think it does add a little extra something to it. So, okay, so I don't want to spend too much time on this. We will at some point, the second half of the video will be just sort of a sped up version of just decorating as I'm sitting here adding lace and stuff that I can dub over and talk to you guys about, but really get stuff done. But what I want to work on today, the biggest thing I want to work on today is the last pocket that's going to go here. And I am going to move this because I really want the room and not the distraction. So we are going to work on this last bit. Oh, that was instructions, which are always great. We are going to turn, and I still have to work on these guys, but I'll do that later. We are working on the last bit, and this is a junk mail pocket that I feel is not very straight. It's sort of bugging me. We are going to work on a junk mail pocket. We're going to the windows, which we love, which we collage over, and then folding it up. Lorette was doing, I have to say something, because I'm afraid I never got to go back and watch the video. And if I did, I would not have the time to do what I'm doing right now. She did something with these, and I would definitely suggest, Lorette Chandler, go look. She was doing something folded up with these envelope pockets, with these windowed envelopes. And we make wonderful pockets out of them. I always love them. They're one of my favorite things to play with. I got the inspiration a long time ago from Crafty Cat, Amy. And it's just one of those things I love doing. So what we're going to do today, though, is we're going to fold it over, and we're going to use this back section as a hinge. Just like we did with other things, we're going to cover it with paper so it blends in. And we're going to pocket. On the back side, we're going to create one more pocket with my, what do you want to call it? I'm losing my brain. My stackable pockets, I'm actually going to sort of fudge and play with and get to use the area. I don't even know where the other half is. It's all hiding somewhere. That's okay. Anyway, I'm going to take this one blue section because it's almost it's like the right everything that I need, and it goes all the way across. We're going to glue it down on 3 sides, and then we're going to leave the top open to stick something else in, whether it's fussies, whether it's these little envelopes, something that, again, for the week, leaves me a space to keepsake in. So we're going to do that. We'll do something here in the yellows or the background color because I want to blend it in like I always do. We may collage, maybe we'll collage up this side with it so it blends in. We're going to use this on the back, and then we're going to use parts of this on the inside. So I'm taking my lovely collage page as we started with the other day and use that as a hinge. We're going to continue to take pieces of this paper and put it to good use. It is blue on the back, so if I wanted to, I could put blue on blue. Since it's a blue pocket, I could put the blue paper here, but the spread is actually yellow, so I'm thinking more like the yellows and the creams up here, and the blue would be a better blend in. Like I said before, I normally try to make sure that my ordeals blend in, but we'll do the best we can. So we've got this here. We're going to cover it with paper here, which will probably take care of this space. And since the back is blue, I'm not revealing any white paper. So we're going to make that work in our favor also. So we're going to get right to it. Let's see, we are at 35. So I'm going to keep an eye on the time, try to keep this part under 30 minutes. And then we'll just sit and decorate and chit chat for a little bit as we fine tune some of the the little details of the rest. I haven't figured out what to do with here. I think whatever scrap, I'm thinking this is going to get scrapped around the edges. So we sort of see the roses. To do that. So that's the other thought. So where do I want to start? And I have to collage the front of this one. There's a lot of little pieces, which now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't use it, right? Gosh, I hope not. I know I had the other corner piece, which is really funny. These are stackable corners, and I am not using them in that sense. I'm actually using to help cover the pieces. So I'm wondering, this was the one that I think I was trying to debate on. It almost covers, but not quite. No matter what I do, it's not going to cover. Shoot. I was trying to see if I make it. If I put it here, even if I cut this off, it might come back down here. If not, I have to put something here. What do I want to put here? I wonder, let me draw and see. I hate to cut it because once I do, I can't use it. But what I'm cutting off up here would totally cover what's down there. We're going to collage it a little bit and we're going to make it work. Okay. See, all pretty. We're just going to go with it. We're going to make it work. Because why not? So let me fold this back so I know where my spacing is so I don't... Because I could collage it and make that work, but we're going to glue it down instead. We're going to make sure it's nice and flat, that it's out of the way. We do not need it to show. But I love playing with the window tat. It's one of my favorite things is to play with the window envelopes. I don't keep every one of them, but if I get decent enough ones, I mean, I have a huge stack of them that I collect, which is so silly. I'm like hoarding these things. I'm hoarding the junk mail, which is sort of funny. Now, I do want to distress the top of this one, though. Stop the top and the side, because we do know that that part is going to show that that is not changing. But I don't want to distress the bottom quite yet until once I know it's cut to see where that lines up. Okay. So I'm hoping everybody's doing well, that this project has been an exciting one, that you've enjoyed watching the process, that you are like all for it, that it's giving you great ideas, you know, hopefully great ideas within your journal. Yes, I'm doing it on a scrapbook, in a sketchbook. But that doesn't mean it can't be done. The ideas at a smaller scale can't be done on a page. Can totally be done on a page. And that was sort of a bummer to do that. Hold on, let me wipe away some of that glue because I have to stick that other piece underneath. This is what happens when I get excited. I probably should have trimmed it first and then done that. But that's what you get to learn from me, right? Learn from my mistakes. I need a pencil. There it is. Okay. I don't even need a pencil. I think that was the thing. I was supposed to put it down and do my thing. But instead, I'm doing this the hard way, which is what I do. I'm really good at doing things the hard way. I'm lovely at that. Okay. So now, I believe I have enough now. If I can get it up, there we go, to overlap it and let it be... Let's see, do I put it on top maybe? Ooh, look at that. I sort of like that. If we distress that, it'll be an interesting little, it'll be an interesting layer. So we're going to do that. We're going to distress it. We're going to lay it on top, not on the bottom, and make it its own little entity. And then if I do a little lace decor on with it or around this area, then it will enhance the area. We'll decorate it up and make it work in our favor, which is always a good thing. Okay, so that's, and like I said, this is mine. I'm keeping this. This is my baby. This is, for me, like I did with Halloween, I get to try to make the most of the year. My kids did pretty good last year, trying to make up on my 41st, to make up for the 40th that we couldn't do. They did try really hard, which was great. It was actually a pretty decent day for being in like the middle of, early to middle of the week. They did try to make the most of it. We couldn't do much beforehand, but, we made the most of the day. I didn't have high expectations last year. I was like, nope, that's so not going to happen. The kids are home. They're being homeschooled, all that good stuff. So, they were all doing the whole virtual online thing last year. So we're just making the most of the situation. That's all we could do. So, which I still do that the same this year. It's a Wednesday. It's a middle of the month or middle of the week. Sorry guys, I'll try not to mumble too much. I'll try to speak up. I did notice it a little bit. Okay, so there's the front so far. I love the fact we took a pocket corner and put it to good use. And I didn't have to do too much collaging. I love it though. And I think if we did a piece of lace that went like up in the same area, it'd be a great extension. But look, we have a pocket. Oh. Now, when I glue that down, yeah, I probably should, but not until I'm done. What we'll do is we're going to collage so it overlaps down into here, and then I will glue it down so that it's a nice clean tuck all the way. It's a clean collage behind it, and I'm not worrying. 2, we also want to leave it open if I can to make the collaging the inside of this a little easier. So first off, though, we're going to use the back side because I want to make sure that I have enough of this before I go cutting it for the inside, which doesn't sound, I don't know, it sounds like a good idea, but we're going to cut off the edge. I don't think I want it ripped. I think I'm going to keep it pretty clean this time around. I'm cutting this upside down. So yeah, definitely using the collage paper to give me different pieces, to give me different tones. And it does match the other piece. Just like the other side is on blue and it's all yellows and pinks with big roses, we're going to be using more the blue and the pink motif from this page that's also on the big tag. So that is a fun or a nice thing too. So what I'm going to do is, let's do it this way, so I can see exactly what I got going. I can let it overlap a little bit and then trim it. As you see, my corners are a little off. So I want to make sure that I have enough space, that I'm not. The only difference will be trying to figure out how far I want to drop it past that point, I think. So we're going to go a little past here. So that way I know it lines up. It's going to be a little, I'm going to cut below that line because I'm going to want it lined up the same way, because I believe that this is going to line up. Yeah, it's going to line up a little bit above when I'm done, because I want to make sure it's a really good fit. So we definitely want to cut it below the line so it cuts, so it drops down into here again. We want to make sure we have all that good necessary. Let's do this first. Let's cut this one first. And we're going to go a little lower than I think. Perfect. And this one we can cut it right on the line. Nice thing is because you are marking the back side of it, you don't have those lines on the side you want to use. Ta-da. And then I think I have just the right amount that I was hoping for. Sideways, perfect. That will fit in here nicely. Beautiful. Okay. So we're going to glue that below, which is perfect. So let's distress the, distress the envelope a little bit, just in case there's anything that's showing. Plus it sort of helps touch up the other side too. And the nice thing is by gluing something on the inside of this envelope, it does help the outside and the inside. It will help strengthen up the envelope so it doesn't feel so flimsy. Especially if we're using this as a flip, like it's going to be flipping open. We don't want to be like, oh, hey, this is sort of flimsy. Now, I am using a lot of antique on this one. I did not go for the gray like I did with the big pocket, I just noticed. I sort of autopilot here and went for the antique photo, or vintage photo. Antique, vintage, yeah, same thing. But this one's going to get, this is going to tuck underneath, so I'm not going to bother with the bottom. No point wasting that when, so we're going to glue here, so that way I don't accidentally put glue on this. If I glue the back of the paper, I will put too much glue and I will seal it shut by accident. And we don't want to do that. So I'm going to glue the paper, or the envelope, and then place the paper on top, and then I can fine tune and touch up anything any corners that pop up. So ladies and gentlemen, what have you designed this year? Yeah, what have you designed so far this year? That's not a bad question either. But what have you been up to this month? Spring is officially here. Daylight savings is officially here. How have we all done? How are we adjusting to more daylight? Has it thrown you off? Has it made it easier on your day? How has it been going? Oh my goodness. Now I am using the nice thing, because there's a pocket here. I can go in and press down on the paper and make sure it really sticks to the envelope. Look at that. There we go. Now I'm going to sort of wipe that off because I wasn't sure how far my glue needs to go. And now all I have to do is trim it where there's excess. And go boop. And I'm going to go here. Now, the envelope does go beyond, or the paper does go beyond the envelope on the back side, and that's okay. It gives me a chance to strengthen it. Even though it's all glued, so it's nice and straight, it blends in, but it doesn't have to like follow the line. I could, but then we see the blue. And that's the one thing, is that I can't guarantee that the new paper is going to cover, so I didn't want to see that blue at first glance. It's under there, and I'm okay with it because we do have blue in the kit. Now I'm going to ink this side, because when we are clustering and collaging, we may see the edges, depending how good I do this. The hard part is getting this. I always feel like, oh, I could use my thing. I always feel like that edge needs, like those edges need to be distressed, because sometimes that's the hardest like area to try to collage. Either you are over and you're into the window area, or you're totally come up short. So I'm going to use my little brush, which I know it has some other colors in it, and I am going to try to distress around the window. So in case, yeah, it works. We have a little bit of dimension, we have a little bit of depth in case the collaging doesn't quite make it to the edge. That's really hard. These are little strips, and usually you end up overdoing it. You usually end up overdoing it, and you don't see, like you start covering up a little bit of the window, which is okay too. It's not a huge issue. All right, now we have that. So we're on a roll. So let's just keep going. Now we're on a roll. So, and I am distressing everything with the antiques. So we're going to keep going with that one, even though this would normally be gray. It's going to look really weird right now if all of a sudden I go gray. And there's a decent amount of cream in this blue page, that I put together, the full blue page for a background. There is a lot of cream in it, so we can antique it. I don't feel like it has to be a silver. Now we're probably cutting this off, but I'm going to distress it just in case any area doesn't get cut off. I can, it's already distressed and I'm not having to worry about it. So now we're going to glue, and then I will trim everything off that I feel is needed. But again, we're going to glue the envelope, not the corner, because I want to make sure I don't glue the wrong thing. And two, I can't glue all of it because it is supposed to be a pocket. We're making a pocket on the back. When the front, the envelope was sort of folded in a way to give me that, I'm trying to create a pocket here with, of course, my corner pocket. So I put the corner pockets to use, even though they're not stacked with each other. They are on the front and back, which works nice too. Now, I'm going to cover into this a little bit up here for that corner piece to help line it up, but not on the actual blue that you can see. The tiny little blue corner, I don't want to get glue on that because it would seal up something I may not want, and that's getting tricky, of course. Okay. So let's line this up, and then I can always go back and add in whatever I need. Do this. I'm probably going to have to go up. Oh, maybe not. Okay, see. So good. I glued it onto the back side, but I didn't glue it onto this, which I didn't want to do, but I want to make sure it is sealed enough that it doesn't come apart. And yes, we're going to be cutting stuff off this time. So I will have to totally redo it, but that's okay. This is up high enough, good enough. We'll get a little bit more to make sure I don't accidentally. There's a lot. That's okay. It's all right to wrap it around the back. I love using the glue to help sort of seal it. I will wipe it down seams. I will do all kinds of things to help keep it going. And I think I can. I definitely, which I always do this after the fact. Always do this after the fact. I don't know why. Where's my 1.5 punch? Ah. Luckily, I can get it in here, but I want a little notch in this one just because it might be a little tricky. So, yep, I goofed this one up. Nope, not enough. And, nope, a little farther. Yeah, I'm going to have to reglue it. That's okay. There we go. I always forget this, guys. Always, always, always. After I glue it down, I go, oh, I want a hole. And this came unglued because my glue is malfunctioning. There we go. We want that glued. We want that glued. Come on. You're being stubborn, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, if it happens to seal it, I guess I'm going to have to deal with it. All right, there we go. We're definitely going to be slipping that in and praying for the best. Because, yeah, it doesn't quite want to. Okay, I think we've got it. So now let's trim this off. Almost done. Almost done, haha. So yes, I'm hoping, like I said, you guys are asking to be invited. If I haven't already, I hope that you want to come join the Crafters of a Jewel Design. So you'll share all your lovely projects with me and with the group and everybody, and everybody else who you know, has purchased my kits and who love seeing what's going on. And I hope you guys will start sharing. I know it's sort of scary. I know it can be a little weird to do so. But we all are in the same boat. We're all loving what we do. We're just enjoying the craft therapy of it all. And I'm really hoping you guys will share with me, because I never know what's going on. I never know for sure if it hit the mark. I never know if I could do something different, or I need to add something to it. Like, I won't know if you don't show me and tell me. You have to tell me what's going on. You gotta tell me, like, yeah, that really worked well, or could that be smaller? Could that be bigger? I'd like to know. I only get feedback from Lorette, so I have to go off what she likes, but you might want to have a slightly different twist on it. You may want to go, well, what about this? And I would love to try to accommodate that. I may not always be able to, but if you show me what you got going, I can, you know, possibly do it. So, okay, we're there. We're getting there. Look, okay, so the back is done. Isn't that pretty? Oh. So now we have a pocket. It may not be a big one, but I think that's where, like, these little guys would be really cute in here. So, I think this one is going to be simply, yep, a writing moment, like a little secret folded writing moment, which I love the idea of. The other one's going to be an actual pocket to put ephemera in, or a ticket stub, or something fun from the trip, from my trips. But I don't think, let's see, let me find my ruler and my score tool, because let's get this puppy done and just tuck it in so you can see. I know, I'm getting sidetracked, but I can't help it. That's how I run. That's how I roll, man. Lady, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen. So let's score across. There's hopefully always a little thin white line to give you an idea of what to try to score to from corner to corner. I know sometimes it's a little off depending on how you cut. Don't score that way. Sometimes I do have to trim up these corners just a little bit to have a nice clean fold so that they don't overlap funny. And that's okay. It lets you adjust and make that adjustment, you know, because it's a four-fold. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, and it does allow that little bit of wiggle room. As we go along, you can fine-tune it for your pockets as you fold it, whatever way you want to fold it. If you decide to glue it down, or whether just use it as a secret hide-a-hole, as I'm going to do this, as I'm going to do. So we're just going to do this, because it's scored, it's so much easier. And look, it's a perfect little square, but inside, you know, we have this little guy. Now, if I want to, I can find, I really can't, well, I could put one little, like, rose here and make sure everything tucks underneath it. And that would actually be really cute. So, and then go ahead, distress those white lines now that you've folded them. Do a little inking. Like I said, I need to, and I have this cute little thing. So maybe later while we are decorating, I will put something there to sort of close it down so it stays tucked in. But look at that. Ta-da! I'm decorating that, and we have a cute thing on the back. So, I don't want that in the way, though. Now, we're going to trim this so it fits inside. And really, I think it's fine the whole size that it is. So, we're going to, and I think everything I've planned with this one piece of paper is going to work. I think we're going to get that flap that we need for the inside, and I think we're going to get pieces to work around here. So, and I have to decide if I want to try to trim out the perfect picture, or whether I just want to tear it and, you know, put it on. I haven't decided yet. So, I'm wondering which way this is going to work best. What do we want to see? Do we want to see, we do want to see a little bit of the flower, and then what's her name is going inside it. I'm thinking this is going to be what goes inside, which then you really don't, if I tuck it all the way in, then you see a little bit of this still. So yeah, I think that'll work. I think. Now the only thing that's left so that the pocket doesn't, yeah, it won't go very far. Okay. Now this, I think I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to just simply, because the, what do you want to call it? The glitter glue can be a little tricky with how wet it gets to get this in here. So I'm going to do this and see if I can slip it in any easier and still get it to stay down. And this dries just as fast as, yeah. All the way in. There we go. Okay. And then I can just, I use my bone folder. I have 2 of them. This one's a little bigger, so it's great. And I just press down, and we are good. We are in. We are covered. Ta-da! We're getting there. I'm loving it. Okay. So while I'm at it, and I know that we're good, we're going to grab this corner. Let's cut that off. And I think I don't need it very wide. Let's see. We're going to go about here. I'm going to go all the way up. I'm going to cut it all the way up. Yeah, I pretty much need the whole thing. So let's cut off the bottom here so I know for sure. And we need, there we go. I won't cut, oh, so that way too, now I have that blue strip if I need this blue strip, or up this way for another collaging moment. Like, now with this, I did not distress the other hinge, and I'm looking, I don't know, what do you think, ladies and gentlemen? I'm not like you can answer me, but like I didn't distress this hinge, I just put it on there, and we are going to cover up some of it. If I really wanted to, I could distress this, and I could go back and distress this a little bit with the little guy. So I could just try to go in here and, oh, it's not the same distressing as doing the edge. It's more like on the paper distressing it to make the edges of the paper a little darker. So let's do the same thing with my other hinge, and we'll do it that way. It's not the physical edge like everything else, but it has a feel. So let's do that. Okay. Whoops, that stuck to that. That's so funny. Okay, so we will glue it down, and then I will distress around the edges of the paper itself to see how that works. So we're going to open this. We're going to glue this like crazy. Oh, please tell me I didn't cut it short. That would be funny. And due to the fact it's where it is going across the page, across the fold, and I will do my best to maybe, what's the word, score it to help fix that. I had a lot of problems trying to find out how the hinge would work. I kept having it in the wrong area. So let's, but let's do this. Let's make sure it's all pretty and distressed like the other hinges. We're going to have that sort of same feel. This one does, I have it here, so I'm just going to probably try to remove as much white as possible. Okay, so to do that, which I did realize, the only way to do it, ooh, so that corner either has to be cut or, there we go, it's been, and I'm going to just fold it right over. Not even worry about the whole, what's the word? Scoring it, because really we're gonna try to do a little bit more distressing over here. So if you see the hinge from the outside of the book, it is done. Sorry guys, I'm probably all of a sudden working right on top of myself. My poor distressing. I bought a new one of the vintage photo because it was just getting, it looks like it's getting weird and dry and pudgy. I will use it till I absolutely can't get anything out of it, but I did buy a new one before Christmas because I wasn't sure. And so I have it because I never know when they're coming up, and they come in and out of Amazon in weird times. So, okay, so we have that. It's ready to go. Won't glue it down yet, remember, because we want to collage this before I completely glue it down. But look at that. We are good to go. But we are struggling with a little bit of the glue. Now we're going to glue this down, of course, at one point once we are done with the collaging. But it's always good to make sure everything is secure, so that it's just stable. It's stable and it, I don't know, does what it's supposed to do. So let's do that. Ta-da. Yay, look at this. Isn't this so cute? Okay, so how are we doing? Okay, we're 25 minutes. I know, we're almost done. Okay, so my only thought was, yes, do I try to cut out the squares, the circles, which I don't do well, or should I just tear pieces out as if I knew where it was going to go? which I think is what we're gonna do. It almost goes across. I know I'm gonna have strips left over that are gonna be interesting, but really, you know, we want the whole thing, or as much as we can. And I lost the butterfly on the other end, so it'd be sort of fun to get the butterfly back on this end, but let's see, we're gonna do a little bit of sort of Tina. Think of Tina. She folds and tears everything right where we want it, when we think we want it. We are not going to measure. We are going to fold up the area so I have an idea of what I'm working with. And I don't need this. I really want that. I really want the I want that butterfly up there. I just don't know how much of the butterfly I need. Let's see. I know my head's in the way. Sorry, guys. My bun up there. I want that, I guess. Let's go across here with that. So I want that piece to collage across the top, because like I said, I want the butterfly sort of presented. We're going to go, and I probably have it at an angle and everything else, and that's okay. This is the fun part where you're collaging it. You're just doing a collage. It doesn't have to be straight across. It can be at a slight angle. It can be however you see fit. And being collaged, you don't really distress. I noticed we don't distress the pieces. We distress all around the edges, but we don't actually distress like the piece that's going on. At least personally, I noticed. Hold on, I need my piece of paper that I've botched up here so that I can get my glue on and not destroy my poor board. I tried to record something the other day. I liked the green on the behind my little mini. I love the green behind my mini journals, but this was so, it seemed really dirty, and then I tried to clean it, and all I did was make the glue spots like shinier, which I thought was really funny, but it was such a distraction. I had to redo I'm like, nope, can't record that. I have to redo it. Nope, too bright, not gonna work. So I put my fabric back down. I'm like, okay, it's one thing, I guess, when we're you know, crafting, because we know it's dirty, we know it's crazy, but not any other time. Okay, so maybe I'm not doing this exactly. So what if we put a strip of rose down here, a strip of pink down here, another green, and then whatever's like, well, what are we doing here? Here, let's do, we want the cream or do we want the white? So let's see, I can shove it in here, which is nice. Let's do the cream. As is, one straight, one not. That works for me. Well, that works for me. We'll do like the green and sort of roses on each, green, rosy decor on each side. So this is why we don't close things down completely beforehand, so that we can overlap down into the area, knowing it's all good. There we go. Now I want, how much of, and I ripped that already, which is sort of a bummer. So let's do, that's fine. That becomes a piece of something for later, but let's fold this so it's not so messy. If I try to do it, it'll be the most messy thing I've ever seen. Let's do that. And I'm loving the fact I'm using, you know, almost every inch of this piece of paper. Right? So I still have this to collage with later as I'm decorating, or, you know, I want to add something to this later, or it'll go into the kit and it'll be just, you know, there'll be the stuff that I need. I don't know how far I want to go. If I do that, oh, I do get that too. So let's fold it back. We're going to cover a little bit of the window, and that's okay. It's definitely at an angle. Is that the best I want to do? Here, hold on a second. Sometimes it's good to have a little more guidance when you're folding things so you can see what you're trying to do. Here we go. Let's try to press up against that. There we go. Maybe. It's like trying to score something, but you're not really sure what you're scoring up against. Let's try that. But the lovely thing about collaging is that it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be that hodgepodge mess if it needs to be, because it is, you are collaging. You are using scraps. You are just creating. Oh, come on. Thank gosh we're gluing. All right. I'm going to let that overlap into this one. Yes, and I just want to make sure when I fold it, we don't see anything. Okay. We're going to make this work. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. Normally, I just hem and haw at this, and I do it, and then I show you guys. But I'm hoping everybody is enjoying this as much as I am as I'm putting it together. I hope you joined in last week or finally grabbing in at my final week here, and you're crafting along with me as we attempt this this lovely Denver. Okay, now I can't say it. Darn it. Well, now I can say it. Lovely journey. Endeavor is what I meant to say, but I don't know if that's even there. I don't think I still have it right, but that's okay. Okie dokie. So there's that sort of fun, having that little ripped little indent. We're going to just dress up that really good. A little on the edge, but that's okay. So last but not least, I wonder if I should just do that little edge, because there's that line right there that's almost perfect. We don't need this because it definitely drops in. Let's just do that. Does it work? Yeah, it does. Okay. Let's go along that line. We have sort of an indicator, which is great. It's always nice when you have something to sort of eyeball it with. And it's turning out lovely. Plus, then I have, yeah, I still have a lovely piece of paper here that, lovely section to play with later. Like, oh, totally stoked about that. Okay, so let's get that little corner off. Let's do some glue. We're almost done, ladies and gentlemen. At least with this part. Not so much the decorating, because that could take me forever, but I will do a little bit of that with you guys, get a feel for what it is. And then if I have to, I can always turn the camera off and then bounce on the last few minutes of the video and show you, how it turned out. The joys of editing, thankfully. Now that I figured out what's up with my program, and we're researching other programs for video editing. I don't do this very often, but there are times where I need to be able to come and go and work it in pieces and, finish a project with you guys and not be like, oh, well, I gotta wait, I can't touch it till next week. It's no fun. All right, let's distress the outside edges so it blends with the rest of the endeavor here that we are working on. The rest of the vent. Oh, perfect. Oh, that came out so cute. Oh, I'm so happy. There you go. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. I know the glare from the thing, but we have the roses, we have the butterfly, all these lovely little elements that, maybe we don't get to see as well in the full tag because it is, it gets full. All right, I think we're at a point where I can clear this and let's get it glued down. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. Yeah, I definitely think, you guys, I'm probably not going to be able to, decorate online with you guys. I think I'm going to go decorate it, and then I'll come back and just walk you through everything. So there it goes. That sits right there. It lets me put a little flap down, but I can put more stuff in it and add to this. This has all the little elements from here, and from here that all come together, which is awesome. So, all right, let's do this last gluing. So we have our pocket. I have no idea what I'm putting in the front pocket. I know it's in the back pocket, which is super cute, with that little envelope, which I'll stuff in there in a moment. But I think we're here, and I think we're at that point where I am, let's get that cut so it doesn't keep getting in the way. So if I do just put something in here, it doesn't get caught. All right, let's get it glued down so that it stays closed as a pocket. And then we'll just put something in there. The moment I have something, or I figure I'm going through things, and I'm like, oh, that tag fits, or that, card works. We'll definitely do that. But lace here, a lot of decorating still do. Though the papers do lend themselves really pretty. If you're not a big decorator, these pages definitely just sit beautifully on their own, and you don't have to do anything much else. You could just add a light fussy cut that I have, and you could be done with the whole thing. It doesn't require a whole lot. Now, we definitely want to make sure that this little guy that I didn't think about is sealed shut so that it doesn't end up tearing and ripping every time we open it up. Every time we try to flip, it doesn't pull. I didn't think to do that earlier. There we go. We want to make sure that that's good. And now we are going to glue. Glue, and a lot of glue. We want to make sure it sticks. We want to make sure it holds, because it is going to hold this whole thing in place. And we do not want it to go bye-bye or go bad. So I'm going to try to line it up. We're going to let that one overlap on the outside of the pink or the yellow paper. There we go. When this one was sort of inside to border, we're going to let this one sit out a little bit. So there's some overlap up here, so we see, you know, different elements. We see different borders, different overlaps. Loving this actually with this. It's nice and light and pale, so it doesn't stand out. It does a little bit, and it has the same feel as this hinge, so I feel like the hinges sort of like match up. They come together nicely. That's interesting. Okay. I love this. I really do. I know it's probably really glossy and shiny on your end, but it has sort of the same feel as the pocket because they are laminated. But it was easy just to do a light fold and just glue in the middle to still give me my 2D effect. Downsides of which I cut these a little bit better. Wasn't sure exactly how much of the laminate to cut off. The kiss cut or the easy cut I ended up creating with the clear is a little much. But that's okay. It's clear. At least I really can't see it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We have, which way am I doing this way? Which way? Right? Something like that. Okay. So this one we'll have to work on. But this is that little pocket note, secret note that's going to go back here. My downside is a little flappy up here. The only thing I notice is that it does slop like a little, when it opens, because it's not all the way to the top. It is a little gappy up there. We have to be careful with that. But this thing is not going to be open and closed every 5 seconds, every so often. It seems like every few months. You know, I open this up, we add a new set of sheets to it, and it's a great little memory keeper. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have finished the last pocket of this series. We have you've seen a little decorating. You get the idea of where I'm going with it. And, oh my goodness, let's see, where are we at? Yeah, we're at 47 minutes. So I am going to go ahead and decorate the sucker up and off camera, and then I will come back for those last 10 minutes of this video and show you what I decorate, so you can sort of see like the flip through, the final pretty of it all, and we don't you know, take up too much more of your time. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will talk to you guys in just a few minutes. Like in a moment, you will see everything from, you know, from basic to decorated. Woohoo! In a snap of a finger. And just like that, we're all decorated, finished, and ready to go. Took me hours. But for you, it's, like I said, a snap of a finger. So here we are, guys, all finished. My 2-page pocket spread. For me, it'll be a great way to memory keep my last week of March, which is my birthday week. And isn't it gorgeous? We've got the blues on the yellow. We've got the pinks on the blue. Nice contrast. This kit is absolutely gorgeous. If you love the roses and the colors with the hints of the ladies, Touch of Romance works for you. If you really like the Jane Austen era, the ladies are all there ready to go with all the wonderful advertisements and all these gorgeous pieces that just remind you of, you know, a ballroom setup for an event and ready to go as you are, you know, coming out for the season and introducing it all. So here we are, finished part 3. You know, we're finishing it up, and I'm going to go through real quick all the little itsy bitsy pieces. So we're going to start off on the far left. I'm going to move it just a little bit, otherwise you can't see. But here was that envelope we just finished, and it's all decorated. We have our pocket here in the front, which I don't quite know yet what I'm going to put in it. But we have the card on the inside all stenciled and ready to go. And, you know, we have the inside, we have the outside collaged. And she slides right in to be ready to go for a moment. Of course, one of my favorite characters in Jane Austen is Elizabeth, and my daughter was ended up being named after that. Did some more collaging on here. And then here is one of our adorable little envelopes. I just put a word on it. And I just put a little rose snap in there so I could open it up and either put something inside or write in it a special secret moment that I maybe really, really wanted to keep the memory of. But the nice part is I don't have to make it a completely closed envelope And I can make it more of a secret pocket and write in it. So I love that. I love that. I love that I can put that little baby in there. I love how the hinge came out. It works really well. So I'm going to zoom back over. And then we have our large ticket pocket, right? It has one. Now it came with the ability to do 1 and 2 pockets, right? 2 pockets, simple and easy. But we ended up using the garland, the rose garland, as a belly band tuck to keep the larger things from falling and flopping around. So we have another little pocket. Again, I used as one of the little roses. I believe these are in the 1-inch one inch dangles, and I just cut the rose out. Oh, and that one's stuck. Oh no! There we go. Little sticky. Now this is the one I ended up stenciling on the inside. Absolutely love it. I couldn't bear to like actually glue it up and then not be able to see all of it. So I'm either going to put something in it again or write a little note over it. And I'm just loving the fact I could just do a little something to tuck it in and it's all set, ready to go. God, I love how that turned out. I love how the roses are in the middle. I'm going to put this stuff to the side. Then we have our small pocket here with our basic journal card ready to go. It's all stenciled. It's all inked up, ready to go. Then you can see the belly band. I put pearls all over it, and it has a large double-sided. You know, the instantly backed journal cards are nice and stout. You can hear it. Lined, ready to go. I decided to do this one and match sort of the background and the theme to this side, so that I didn't have like too much of repetitive of the girls. As it is, I have this gorgeous girl like 3 times. I have her here, I have her here, and I have her here. So try not to be too repetitive. So we have that ready to go. Then we have this one. I ended up putting a lace little tab on top, lace down the side to blend in with the doily that's in the background, and put a vertical word. I have pink vertical words, and then the back's ready to go again to do memory keeping of any sort that I want on it, to journal on it. But all of that, see, fits in here. So you have the pocket it comes with. You have this. If I decide something cute shows up, I can tuck it up underneath there as a layer. And of course, there's the large pocket that it is intended to be. So there it is, all decked out. I put the same lace that's on here is a little wider, and it's here with some flowers and the date, of course, that we're going to go out. They're going to take me out to eat. I'm so psyched about that. But we're going to put the big card in there. I love the idea. Now you can use vellum. You can use another card if you want, and make another pocket here if you really don't mind permanently covering up the whole background. Which is really hard to have a pretty background for a pocket when you know you're going to cover it all up. But that's okay. We see bits and pieces of it. And then I just took my last double-sided background paper, threw it in there so that I can, again, do some more journaling and really write about, hopefully, a wonderful night out with my family. Then we're going to do this side, which you guys saw somewhat. Here was the last of it. This one, all I did was add a few pearls to it, but it's all stuffed in as we did on part 2. Part 2. Part 2 was this and into this. This is today's part 3. So, yeah, part 2. All I did was just add just a couple pearls to it. I'm not a huge pearl girl, but I like a little bit. Here, as we've shown, we have the flowers that were off the rest of this one. Whatever was left over that I trimmed, I put over here with this laminated double-layered butterfly. Added the lace, and I'm leaving this tag journal card as is. It's a little bit distressed, but I didn't think of putting anything on here because it is sort of a tight pocket. I'm still working on, my sizing for pockets. But this, went ahead and stenciled. Just did a little stenciling here, so it's really easy to write on the inside. Glued down my label. Added a flower to and a little bit of book page to this corner. This is all now decorated. Again, it's the same lace over here. I used it over here. I think the only lace is different is this one right here. Oh no, this lace here is the same lace that's over here. So we have one set here and we have one set here and here. So I like that when I try to use it. But we have fuzzies, we have book pages, we have this one flower that comes in the kit, and then this cute little parasol, which is horizontal compared to the other one that's vertical. Did I put the other one? Yeah, it's more of a vertical piece. That is definitely a horizontal piece. They made this little journal card. We had it in there, so I went ahead and just put one of my favorite quotes. Do you think anyone can have too much color? From Love and Friendship out of Jane Austen. And there is a number of tags that have these wonderful quotes that my mom was nice enough to search for and type up for me so that I could give you guys these labeled quotes to put on things like I did here. This is one of those 1-inch dangles just distress and some paper behind it. And then I used some of the ribbon that I found at the holidays to make just a little, you know, flag ribbon area. And it's stenciled in the back, ready to write. And then she's pretty calm. I didn't go too crazy with her. I do like how I paired those up, not intentionally, but that's how it made it look like a pair. And she's also stenciled, ready to go. So look, they are very much a pair. I love how they came out looking that way. I just realized that. They're very, very much a lovely pair of ephemera that go in this gorgeous pocket that we turned on its side so that it had a whole new purpose. So you can see her little head, a little bit of friendship. So there you go. I have so much room to journal on. I'm even the back of this. I can journal on the back of this. Right? Ready to go. Need I say, my dear Eloisa, how welcome your letters was to me. I cannot give a greater proof of pleasure I received from it. So it's like a little invite letter, which I adore that I made that. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There is my 2-page pocket spread in a sketchbook or a notebook that we will do throughout the next couple years, probably this year and years to come. I'm loving the idea of, like I said, we did this one for Halloween. We're doing this one for my birthday week, and here going into spring. And who knows what the next one will be? Maybe sometime in summer, whether I do one that resembles beach, whether I do one that resembles camping. So I do have a kit coming out in April, May that I'm really excited about, and I'm hoping it will pan out the way we want it to. You never know, right? You always wonder, you know, you have an idea and will it work? Will it work? So thank you for joining me on this 3-part deal. I know it was, you know, a little longer than we expected, but what a great project to work on all month and to enhance and elaborate and just enjoy it, making it yours. And this was the biggest thing I think I loved about this one, was that I could just decorate the page up the way I wanted it, how I wanted to represent my week, what fit me, how I liked it. And it was a great, you know, sort of therapeutical tool this month as I designed it and shared it with you guys. So I hope you got the same benefits and enjoyed every moment of it. And it created some creativity, some inspiration, some design ideas. And yeah, I can't wait to work on the next one with you guys. So thank you for joining me. We'll see what comes up. The month is almost over with. So cross our fingers that the juices keep flowing and new kits come out to you guys every single week. Love you all. Thank you so much for joining, liking, subscribing, commenting, and making sure you hit those notification buttons so that you know when I'm coming out, because I'm all over the board with this one. It looks like 9 o'clock might be the better turn. I kept saying noon, but for a journal with me, noon's a little late. So keep an eye out for my journal with me's at maybe 9 a.m. The digital reveals at noon is a great lunchtime thing just to look at the new kits. And we will keep giving it the trials and tribulations that it needs and deserves. So love you all. Thank you so much for joining us. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.